Hey guys, Big Andrew. Thought from the bench here today in my home gym. You see, I've got my Victory Fit Jonesborough, Tennessee t-shirt on. It's not heated in this gym. I have a little space heater right here, but it's been snowing. Today it's not snowing. It finally stopped, and it's in the high 30s, and so it gets really cold in this damp gym sometimes. So I'm wearing a long sleeve t-shirt and got my little space heater on so that I don't die. But Victory Fit in Jonesborough, Tennessee is a fantastic gym with year-round heating and air conditioning. And they just put a whole bunch of new equipment in there, man. Whole bunch of great stuff. And I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but I will. Go check them out if you're in the area. Go to Jonesborough, Tennessee. Check out Victory Fit. Great gym. Now let me tell you about my thought from the bench today. Everybody really just has two main desires. If you boil all the desires of humanity down to the essentials, there are two things that I think every single human being wants. Number one, they want to be accepted for who they are. They want to be loved as who they are. Number two, they want to belong to something bigger than themselves. I think everybody wants those two things. I know I do. I want to be loved for who I am, and I want to belong to something bigger and important, more important than myself. What does it mean to be loved for who you are? Well, first you have to be defined. And the fact of the matter is, there's only two people that can define who you are. You and the God that created you. That's it. God created you, and He knows all about you. You are you, and you know about you. Nobody else can define you. If you're looking to other people to define you, you're going to get what they think you are. They think that you are this or that based on how they feel. They can spout their little studies and their sciences and all this stuff, but the fact of the matter is, none of that is a really hard and fast rule except for how you perceive it. We can talk about trans people, how they feel one way, so they get defined as being this, and when in reality, what they are is somebody who was born and created in the image of God. God loves them the way they are. And if He wanted them to be that, He would have made them that. They just need to realize that they are loved by God and created for a purpose by God. They weren't trapped in the wrong gender's body. They weren't trapped in the wrong species body. They weren't trapped in the wrong skin color. They weren't trapped transabled, like the people who get a leg cut off because they feel like they should have been disabled their whole life. Or the one woman I read about who had her eyes blinded by her therapist with Drano, sink cleaner in her eyes until she couldn't see anymore. Burned her eyes out to make her feel better about herself. That's not a thing. God created you the way He created you. If you are blind, if you are disabled, if you have certain tendencies that go one way or the other, like a girl who's very athletic and very into sports, whatever, maybe she's more tomboyish. I have a daughter that's like that. She's very tomboyish. She still likes all the girly stuff, but she's very tomboyish. And maybe you're a guy who's really artistic or into music. You're not into the traditional quote unquote masculine things, lifting weights, playing football, spitting, whatever, right? That's not you. You lean this way or that way. It doesn't make you less of a man and more of a woman if you're not into sports and you're born male. And it doesn't make you less of a woman and more of a man If you are into sports and you're one girl, and I know there are other arguments, and I don't want to hear all that right now. I'm just using very general terms, okay? Very general terms right now. But that's what we've come down to. It's like, hey, let somebody else define you based on these things. Well, you're taking all the fun out of being who you are. The idea of, I love you for who you are, now change into what I think you're supposed to be. That's not acceptance. That's not love. I love you for who you are because there's a God that created you on purpose. That's love. That is what everybody needs. You have to be defined. And the only way to be defined is to be defined by yourself and by the God that created you. I can't define you. There's an argument about my last name my whole life. Everybody's wondered where it came from. And there are different ways to pronounce it, and all the other ways are wrong. The way I pronounce it is correct. Every other way is wrong. That's all I'm going to say about that. Now, my last name is a complicated name in English. It doesn't really fit the way English grammar and phonics works, right? But there have been some arguments over where it's from. Is it early or Middle English, like Old English, way back when? Some people are like, oh, it's Dutch. It's Dutch. No, it's got Scottish overtones. My whole life I've said, well, it's got to be Germanic or Nordic. And I went back and forth. And I was like, well, it sounds Nordic. It's got to be Nordic. Let's go with Nordic. And we have Nordic ancestry. We have to have Nordic ancestry. And I was dead set on that. And everyone's like, no, it's Dutch. It's Dutch. It's this. No, it's Scottish. No, it's English. And they say, it can't be. All right. All these other things, they came from somewhere. And a lot of them came from these other places. You have to follow these trails. So a couple people in my family went ahead and got those swabs with the DNA swab thing, and they had it done, and came back as Nordic, and I was right, and I've been right my whole life, and now they're like, Andrew, can you believe we've got Nordic ancestry? I'm like, yes, absolutely I can. I've been saying it for over 30 years. So I was right. Sorry that you're wrong for your entire life. And I didn't really rub it in a lot, an appropriate amount. I rubbed it in that I was right, but that's neither here nor there. That test may show the genetic makeup that I have. It may show that I've got Swedish and Norwegian and Estonian and all these other things. It may show that I have that in my flesh and in my blood. It may show any indigenous peoples, the Native Americans, stuff like that. It may show any of that I might have, or anything else. Who knows? I may have Eskimo in me. Probably not. But let's just throw these things out there, right? All the things that could be in me. It may show me all those things, and that defines my body. It defines my genetic history. But it doesn't define who I am. See, all these other people in my ancestry were also created in the image of God. And they were created to be loved as someone who was created in the image of God. If that's the case, then all these people from my ancestry who came together to eventually come up with me, this 6 foot, 315 pound man standing in a cold garage yelling at his phone on a tripod, a man who was created in the image of God, they all came together to create me. All of your ancestors came together in some sort of cosmic, God-ordained plan to make you. You're not an accident. You're here on purpose. So the two things that every human being wants, to be loved for who they are and to belong to something greater than themselves. Right now, let's focus on that first one and define ourselves. Define yourself by who God is and who God made you to be. He made you in His image. Nothing else matters. And for that, I love you for who you are. God loves you because he made you. If other people don't love you because of that, well, they don't really love you. They love the ideas. They may love part of you. But they need to love you because you exist, not because of your stances, not because of your ideologies, not because of anything else. They need to love you because you exist, and nobody exists on accident. All right. See you next time.